Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, then welcome. My name is Christina, and in today's video, we are doing another Curbing Makeup Cravings video. In this series, we are talking about all of the brand new releases and talks of launches that are coming up, while also using products that are already in my collection in attempt to curb the craving of the new products. Whether I want them, whether you want them, the goal of this video is to talk it out, figure out if this is actually something that you and I both need. And if we don't, then hopefully this video stops us. And also, before we get started, if you have not subscribed already, because I do see that half of my viewers are not subscribed, please consider subscribing for more videos like this one. I also do other video type of things, but yeah, that's it. Let's get started. I've moved over so I could pop up some screenshots for you guys here while we talk about these things. And as the title suggests, a lot of these launches left me really confused. I don't understand where some of these brands are going. I kind of understand it, but I don't agree. I feel like some of these brands have definitely lost the plot, and the plot is innovation, something exciting, something new, something that consumers just cannot wait to get their hands on. The first product I'm talking about is also a brand new release, so it's kind of like a two-in-one. The new Merit The Uniform Tinted Mineral Sunscreen. They sent this one to me, and first of all, I misunderstood this. When I first saw this, I immediately thought, oh, it's another skin tint, but this is actually a sunscreen. It is a tinted sunscreen, and I do think that there is a difference. Skin tints to me are meant to even out the complexion, be a lighter weight complexion product, while sunscreen is for sunscreen, sun protection, and this one just seems to have the added benefit of sunscreen. I originally did try this, to be completely transparent with you guys. I tried it and I was like, oh my gosh, there's no coverage. And then I looked more into it. It's just a sunscreen. So I have the shade number 16, and they do have shade matches to their complexion stick that they have in their collection. And this one, as you can see, it looks so dark, doesn't it? But I think my shade in the Minimalist, which is the complexion stick, is the shade Suede. So this was going to be the best one for me, and I believe that these are supposed to be flexible shades because, again, it is a sunscreen. I'll link down below the video that helped me really understand that this is a sunscreen. It's actually a video from the Do founder, Charlotte Palomino's video. She does such great in-depth talk-through videos that really make sense to my brain. So I'll link that down below, but this is essentially a more sophisticated sunscreen. Of course, Merit has its whole enhance no makeup look spiel that they do with all of their products because that is their brand. That's their MO. I really appreciate how much they have stuck to that. Like, they've never veered from that, but just know what you're getting. This is a sunscreen. It is not going to be a skin tint. While this did give me some color, I don't really think it gave me much coverage. I wouldn't wear this as a complexion product solely because it's really dark for me right now, but I do think in the summertime when I get more tan, which I always do, this is going to match me better. And actually I feel like this formula is really nice because I always talk about how in complexion products when they put sunscreen on, it's annoying sometimes because you can never put enough because you're mainly using it for complexion, while this is sunscreen, so you can kind of pile this on. And since I have made the connection that this is a sunscreen and not a skin tint, I like it. I actually feel like it works out as a really good hydrating base. While we let that sink into the skin, let's go ahead and do brows, which brings us to our next product, the NYX Brow Glue. This one is very interesting to me. So this is supposed to be a Crazy Lift Brow Lamination Gel. You guys know that I've tried to do the laminating brow technique thing, and it just doesn't look right on me. I like a good feathery brow. I cannot do a laminated brow just because I feel like it takes over my whole face. Some people look incredible with a laminated brow. I am just not one of those people. So this falls in line with their glue collection. I have not used the primer. I have not used the setting spray. I haven't tried anything from the glue collection, but from what I've heard, it is really good. It's very tacky. It keeps your makeup on, and a lot of people seem to really like it. This says it's a 24-hour stronghold brow lamination gel, delivers non-crunchy, flake-proof, and sweat-resistant hold. It's transparent, has a built-in styling comb to precisely coat, lift, and lock every single natural brow. So I'm curious to see if this is going to be a gel or if it's going to be something like the Rare Beauty Flexible Gel where it's more of a wax. If it is a wax, I would be more intrigued because when it comes to actual gels that dry down, they just don't work for me. Even if they say that they're non-crunchy or flaky, they do tend to flake and crunch on me. I like the idea of this comb, but what it reminded me of right off the bat is the Refi lip scrub, you know, where it comes in a tube and it has pretty much the same exact comb, and I hated that thing. But those bristles were really, really, really spiky. It was painful. I couldn't even finish the product because I felt like it hurt too much. But looking at this comb on the NYX brow gel, it looks like the bristles are a little bit more dull. Like they don't look like they're intended to be spiky. So maybe this will be better. And if it is, I do like the shape of the comb. I feel like you can really, really get in there for thicker brows. I actually feel like the comb would be perfect for my brows. But again, I'm not trying to get laminated brows. If anything, I would use it for a feathery look because that's just more my style. So in saying that, I don't think that this product is catered to myself. I don't know how it would do with thin brows, but then again, isn't the whole point of a laminated brow like you have to use a flat spatula type of product? Maybe this is a 2-in-1. It's the bristle brush and it's the spatula type of thing. So I like the idea. I think it's nice. I like that it's a squeezy tube, honestly. I feel like everything is kind of streamlined within the unit of the product. So you have the squeeze tube, you have your brush, and you have your spatula all built into one. So I really like the idea of all of this. I think that it would be worth trying if you are really into a laminated brow. But for myself, I think I'm gonna wait to see what the reviews are in terms of the actual formulation, not necessarily to see if it is a good laminating product, but more so if it's going to be more of that liquidy wax, and then I would be intrigued to try it just to see, you know, if it's an easier product to use. Okay, I'm gonna go kind of out of order here. I'm trying to talk about products that are relating to the products I'm putting on my face at the same time. I want to talk about a couple of lip products now, and we're going to talk about more later. But Glossier has come out with one new formulation and then one new color. So first of all, the Glossier Espresso Balm dotcom. I think that Glossier is holding on to their golden years with this product, to be completely honest. I feel like a lot of people have come to terms with and realized that Glossier Balm dotcom is basically just Vaseline in a really cute, fun, colorful tube. Sometimes they have some good color, but other times it's just colored Vaseline. I have never been a huge fan of the Balm dotcom. I've bought multiple because I was convinced that I was going to love it. And it's good, it's hydrating, it does exactly what Vaseline's going to do for you and then some. Like there's a couple of extra oils and mineral oils in there. I do think that the addition of a brown is really nice because deep rich browns have been all the rage. And also, here's the thing, I don't want to completely write off the Balm dotcom and say it's not going to be for anyone. I really truly believe that Balm dotcom is a great lip product for those that are younger that may not be really into makeup, or maybe you're a parent and you don't want your child to be wearing makeup and stuff like that at a younger age. I feel like Balm dotcom kind of like bridges that gap. It's something fun, it's a little bit of color, it's basically Vaseline like I said, so it's not going to necessarily harm the lips or the skin. And it is a salve as well, so you can use it on your lips, you can use it on your cuticles. It's something fun. I feel like if I were a middle schooler and my mom had bought this for me, I would have loved it. It just doesn't seem like something that is necessarily for me and the age that I am now. Okay, this one I don't know who this one's for. Maybe it's for that same generation, maybe it is for the younger group, but the Glossier new lip oil things, what are these called? The Lip Glaze Cooling Creamy Lip Oils. So at first I saw these and I was like, those look good. I love a good lip oil. We have a lot, I have a lot, but I liked seeing that Glossier was coming out with one, and then I started scrolling and looking at the swatches. Honestly, the first phrase that came up in my head was, yes, give us nothing. And I think that the comments tended to agree. Everyone was kind of confused. They were like, okay, it's the same gloss, different font, kind of. Like it's all kind of the same here. A clear lilac, a clear blue, a cool baby pink, a coral pink. They all sound like they're going to be different colors, but on the swatches, they literally look the same. You do not need duplicates of this. I'm telling you that right now. Pick one shade and then be happy with that. If you want to try the formula, then great. But what I pulled out, these are the new Nourishing Lip Oils, 7 juicy, universally flattering shades, infused with 9 botanical oils, hyaluronic acid, shea butter. I love shea butter in my lip products. It's something that I find my lips really benefit from. So when I see a product has shea butter, I'm like all over it. Let me try it. And these, from what I can tell from swatching them, actually look different. They are sheer, but they do look different enough to me. When I put them on my lips, I can see a difference, you know? I'm gonna put the shade Spark just to prep the lips. This does have a little bit of a sweet scent, and you can see that it does tint the lips very, very sheer. And these actually feel like an oil, so they are very slippery. They don't feel like they're going to be the most long wearing because they do have that oily slip to them. I am happy to have these. Would I go out and buy multiple shades? Probably not. I mean, they are more sheer, and I probably would just stick to one color. And I really like this shade in Spark. This was the one that I was most drawn to. So feels hydrating, feels really nice. You know what, you guys? I'm realizing that I have no eyeshadows to talk about. So I'm going to do my eyeshadow look with this new Singe Beauty Agate Temptation. This is Angie's brand, and she sent this in PR, and this color story, first of all, very much Angie. This like screams her color palette, doesn't it? So let me do this, and then we're also at the same time going to be talking about lip products. So we are going to kind of go out of order here. I hope that's okay. Okay, let's talk about another new lip balm release, the Laneige Matcha and Taro lip balms. We have the lip sleeping mask and the lip glowy balm. I like both of these products in terms of formula. I own both of them. I've gone through several different sleeping masks, and I've gone through a couple of the lip glowy balms, specifically the gummy bear one. That one's my favorite. I love matcha. I think that a matcha latte, give it to me. But in terms of flavor of a lip balm, I think that the Taro one would actually be my cup of tea. No pun intended. Taro bubble tea. I love Taro. I've grown up with Taro. I've talked about Taro. These look so, so yummy, but they're not reinventing the wheel or anything. They're just adding to their existing collection, which I can't be mad about. I love that we're seeing more Asian inspired lip products, or products in general. It makes my little heart happy. It truly, truly does. I can't even deny that. I really don't need it, but if I did get one, I would get the Taro one before the matcha one. But I am so curious to see their take on matcha for a lip product. So I am definitely going to make my way into the store to sniff these and to see. I don't think that it makes sense to make the green one tinted unless people are really looking for a tinted green lip balm. I don't know. I'm not, but I'm also not looking for a purple one either. I'm just mainly looking for that scent. And I think that's kind of what they're targeting, is that people want that scent, that flavor. Eadem recently came out with an extension to their Chouchou lip balms, which you guys know I'm a big fan of. They are coming out, or they already did come out, with the Guava Fresca. And yes, yes to this one. This is one that I'm really trying not to purchase. Whenever it went into stock, I was so tempted to just add it to my cart. I have all the other shades, even the clear one, and I love the lip balms. I love the formula. I think they're nice and thick and actually hydrating, not just like a thick layer on the lips. They're absolutely beautiful. I love the metal tip applicator. I think that is such a sophisticated touch, and it feels good on the lips, to be honest. And I really enjoy the pigmentation levels of the lip balms. I think that they are the perfect pigmentation to wear alone, or you can just wear it as a lip balm and it'll do the job for me. And I'm trying not to get it solely because I already have the other shades. This shade is really pretty to me. It's like this warm, bright pink, but it still looks wearable. I feel like, knowing the amount of pigmentation on these lip balms, I would still feel comfortable wearing this. I think it would just make my lips look a little bit more pink and bright, but without looking milky, and I want it. I think my rule with this one is going to be I can't buy it until I finish up another lip balm. So I'm trying to stop myself. But if you have not experienced any of the Eadem lip balms, and this color is like one that you're looking into, I say get it because you won't be disappointed. This formula is incredible. I haven't heard anyone say that they don't like the formula, so that's a plus. I really don't think that you can go wrong with this one. Truly, I think it's so good. This is one that I know that I'm not personally interested in purchasing, but I will swatch them in stores out of pure curiosity. It's the brand new Glow Recipe Glass Balms, the Bingsu inspired lip balms. Again, like I said, I'm really excited about Asian desserts and Asian foods and stuff becoming a source of inspiration, especially for these AAPI owned brands. I think that's really cool that they're kind of bringing their culture in even more, but I just am not drawn to this. I kind of feel like the packaging for Glow Recipe is very plain. Do you guys agree? Like, they have such fun packaging, whether it be shape or color, and these are just, they're kind of boring. They kind of look like this was the original first draft of what they wanted the tubes to look like, and then they ran out of time, and then they were like, oh, let's just release it, it's fine. I was kind of expecting when Glow Recipe came out with like a tube lip balm, it would be something fun like the Gisou lip oils, something along those lines, and this really was a letdown for me. I saw it and I was like, okay. We have the basics. We have the clear, the pink, the berry, the red. I think that's usually what brands will come out with. It's safe, it's easy. But I was reading the comments and no one really seems that excited. Everyone's kind of like, do we need another $20 lip balm? I think these are $22, yeah. So it says it's $22, and I would not be mad at it if the ingredient list looked a little better. To me, it looks like, or it's reading that it's going to be more of a thin, slippery formula versus like a lip peptide treatment like Ula or the Eadem like Chouchou lip balms. Like those, I like how nice and thick those are because they feel like they're actually hydrating the lips, while this one looks like it's going to be one that kind of slips and slides. I could be completely wrong though, but that's just what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing any super thick emollients in this ingredient list. There are emollients, but there's also like glycerin and stuff, and usually I feel like that kind of thins out the formula for me for lip products. I don't know. Like I said, I am willing to go into store and swatch it, but personally, I'm not running out. I'm not running out to get it, you know? I am curious though, what do these smell like? Do they all smell like what they're named? Because if that's the case, that would make it more interesting to me. Alright guys, are we surprised? There's another new lip plumper on the market. And guess what? This time, it's a super expensive one. Okay, so I did buy the YSL lip plumper. I was interested in it. I wanted to know what the consensus was going to be, what I would think about them, and they're fine. So I think because I have that existing experience now with like a higher end lip plumper and I wasn't super blown away, I'm even more turned off by this. So Valentino Beauty is coming out with the Puffer Complex Lip Plumper Gloss. That sounds pretty intense. Puffer? That sounds like an allergic reaction. These are $38 each. It is already released from what Trend Mood has posted. It says that these are extra high shine lip glosses, delivers fuller looking lips, pillowy soft, smooth pout, extra plumped effect, 6 different shades, yada yada yada. We have seen this before. So I like the packaging. I do think that in my drawer of my sea of lip products, this one would pop. This one would look fun. Is this in line with Valentino Beauty packaging though? You guys will have to let me know. I actually don't think I own any Valentino, and I think that's another reason why I'm not like super drawn to it, because I don't have that relationship, that experience with the brand or the product. This looks crazy, but I have a vision, okay? We're just going with it. So here's my thing. It's not even with this one, it's not even the formula necessarily. I kind of feel like if you are a luxury brand, if you are a high-end brand and you're charging an arm and a leg for your products, if you're gonna do that, you need to give us products before any brands that are technically like lower in price point give us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want innovation. We want something new. We want something fresh and fun from a designer. What? From a designer. We want something new, fresh, and fun from a designer brand. That's not what we're getting. We have gotten lip plumper over and over and over, even from other luxury brands like Dior and YSL and stuff. So it's not necessarily their fault. But what this feels like at this point, since it's so far in the game, is they're trying to catch up. They're trying to also do kind of a cash grab. They're trying to jump on the bandwagon before it leaves them behind. They're trying to get on the game. And at this point, we have so many options. Like, what is drawing us to this one, you know, other than brand loyalty? It feels like the older mom that's trying to catch up with her teen daughter's trends, you know? It's kind of like a, look at me, I have this too, am I cool? That's what I'm getting. Okay, lastly for lip products, the NYX Smushy Lip Balms. I bought this. I'm waiting for it to get to me because it's online only right now from what I can tell. So I bought it from Ulta and it should be arriving to me in a couple of days. So I'll keep you guys updated. That's crazy. Look how pigmented that is. So I bought these out of pure curiosity because to me, I was like, oh no, is this their lip creams just repackaged within a tube, like squeezy tube form, because everyone loves a squeezy tube right now? Holy crap, that's really pretty. I know you guys are curious too, so I was like, let me go ahead and just pick this up. And I'm really hoping that these actually feel like a lip balm, like they're actually hydrating and they don't slip and slide on the lips. I've talked about how the lip creams are not my favorite because I feel like they kind of slip and slide, never really dry down. I hope that these actually dry down. And in that same regard, when it comes to these more moussey lip cream formulas, I feel like they can be slightly drying. I tried the About Face ones recently and those don't fully dry down, so they still feel nice and hydrating. So I'm hoping it's something similar to that. I do wish that NYX came out with a couple more neutral shades, but that's really not their MO. They are bright colors. That is what they're gonna do right out the gate. And then maybe later on, they'll expand it based on how popular the product is. But yeah, I picked up Swipe to Smooth and Squeeze and Sizzle. I'll keep you guys updated. I can't imagine this formula being ultra hydrating though is the thing, but I'm gonna let you guys know. I like this. This is fun. Okay, let's go into complexion now. So this is kind of older news. This released a little while ago, but I want to talk about it because it made me like giggle and laugh, and I was like, ooh, you copied the Lancome 3 Serum Super Tint Skin Tint. This is the exact same packaging as the Urban Decay Face Bond, which is why we're going to use it today. I love this product. This is such a good foundation. But where the Lancome one and the Urban Decay one differ is this is a foundation that is a skin tint. They made that very clear. So it's not the same formula per se. From what I can tell, that's what they're telling us. I don't think everyone realizes this. I think a lot of people do know this, but Lancome and Urban Decay are owned by L'Oreal. And that's why we see a lot of overlap with Urban Decay, L'Oreal, and Lancome. Urban Decay and L'Oreal have very similar like blush formulas, powder blush formulas. And now we're seeing an overlap in packaging. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do also see overlap in some of the products. I just haven't used a lot of Lancome in a while. I don't have really much of anything to say about the formula. It does sound nice. It's a 24-hour lightweight buildable coverage skin tint. All the things that skin tints are typically claiming these days, where it's blurring, it's hydrating, it's long lasting, all the things. I don't think a lot of people are giving it the chance of looking at the different formulas, because why would you if you already have this? You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I'm at. I can't say in comparison to the Lancome one how it would do though. But yeah, I saw this and I was reading the comments and everyone was like, doesn't Urban Decay have a patent on their packaging? Why is Lancome copying Urban Decay's packaging? Why is there no innovation? And again, it goes into the whole, if you're going to be charging a lot, you need to give us something new. I think it was an interesting move to start off with the packaging being from Urban Decay versus being from Lancome. I kind of feel like it was an afterthought. Maybe people really liked the packaging of Urban Decay. Maybe the cost for production was lower and they were like, let's just use the same thing. All I know is that it was really interesting to me. It was kind of funny. I was like, everyone's gonna clock this. I did have whiplash though when I first saw it. I thought it was Urban Decay coming out with a skin tint in the same packaging, which even then I was like, that's weird. Why didn't they have new packaging for this? But yeah, I don't have really anything to say about the formula. I just thought it was funny. It was just another opportunity for me to talk about my Urban Decay face bond. I took this traveling with me. This was like my go-to full coverage foundation because this is as full as I typically go, and I love it, man. This is so good. I'm trying out this It Cosmetics Radiant Concealer. This is a serum concealer. They sent me 2 shades and they both seem a little bit warm, a little bit dark, but this one, Medium Tan Warm 320, if I'm looking at the swatches on models online, this looks like it'll match me, but looking at it here, I'm not so sure, so we'll see. I've heard mixed reviews about this, so I wanted to try it. You guys know I'm not a big fan of like the twist up sponge. Oh shoot. Oh, okay. All right, let's put on the back of the hand because that is usually what I like to do. Ooh, that's messy. Oh, maybe it'll work. It's a little bit warm and it's a bit darker than what I think I would go for under the eyes, but it might work. They also sent this concealer brush, which this is a beautiful concealer brush. It's the Airbrush Angled Concealer Brush number 148. This feels really nice, the serum concealer, and it actually looks like it's giving me some good coverage. Okay, let's move on to our next product, the Makeup Forever Artist Color Crayons. So these are so cute to me. Makeup Forever, I feel like, is revamping a lot of their products and just their brand in general, and I'm really interested in it. I feel like they're still holding on to the heart of Makeup Forever being an artist-forward makeup brand. I think that they have a lot of innovation. I like that they have a lot of multitasking products because that seems to be what makeup artists really, really enjoy. They like something that they can use all over the face. They like something that they can be really creative with. And I don't know, I've always liked everything I've gotten from Makeup Forever, but it's not the brand that I always am drawn to. Do you know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. But for these products, they are so cute to me, and I was like, ooh, what is this? And I'm still kind of not sure what this is. So the reason I say that is because they're supposed to be multi-use, multitasking crayon sticks. They haven't really said yet how to use it. They haven't really come out with tutorials. Their marketing really is just the product saying like, this is new, this is coming. And I really want to see how this is used. Like, some of the shades look like they would be more foundation products, concealer products. Some of them look like they would be clear cheek products, clearly bronzer products. But then at the same time, I'm kind of like, I want my contour and my bronzer to be a different formula than my foundation and my concealer. Like, I, for one, like something thinner when it comes to my foundations and my concealers. And I like something a little creamier when it comes to my bronzers. You know what I mean? So I'm curious to see what the formula is, what it's more geared towards. I'm just confused. And that's me as someone that doesn't have a makeup artistry background. And I'm looking at it and I'm confused how big this is going to be. Because there's been moments where Makeup Forever has come out with a product and I see it in stores and it's like a shrunken version of what I thought it was going to be. To me, I thought maybe this looked similar to the Nude Sticks cream products, like the multi products. So I did pull out one of my tried and true Nude Sticks Nudies All Over Face color in the shade In the Nude, and we're going to be using that today. Side note, this concealer, actually the color is very, very nice, and it's so thin. It's so thin, but I feel like it's actually giving me coverage, no? I feel like a lot of people have not liked this so far, but I'm really liking this. And I like this brush. I like how big it is. I like how dense it is without being pokey. It still feels really soft, and it looks like it's actually blending and not streaking the product, which is kind of a feat because, like I said, it's a serum concealer, so it could easily streak around the face, but I'm not seeing that. So to kind of button it up with the Makeup Forever crayon sticks, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I'm not sure what it is. I'm confused. But I have a feeling that once I actually see what it's for, once I swatch them in stores, I may want to pick one up because I love a good creamy product. I love something that's multi-use. It's just a matter of figuring out what this is. So like I said, we're going in with this Nude Sticks, and mine's really old, you guys. I actually don't know if this is gonna apply well. Anyways, let's talk about the Dior blush sticks. So these just released. I saw that they just went live on the Sephora app. Let me be so honest with you guys. I'm always excited for a new blush stick. Whether or not I pick it up, I'm always excited to see a new one. I don't know what it is. I just love blush so much. And when it comes in a blush stick form, I'm all over that. But looking at this, it just looks like super basic shades. We've got our bright pink, our baby pink, our berry, our red, our lilac, our peach, and we've got it all covered, you know? Let me not like harp on this too much because that's what people want. That's what I want. So why does this bother me so much? It's because these claim to be pH activated colors, which Dior is all about. They're basic colors technically, but then once you get it on the skin and they react with your pH levels and your skin warmth and stuff like that, it's supposed to change. But looking at the swatches here, looking at the actual colors here, there's no nuance to them. They're just so basic. It's like they took the colors off of a color wheel and they stuck them into a blush stick for me. If it's supposed to change, if it's a pH activated color, my question is, in this picture of the swatches on the arms, why do they all look identical if they're supposed to technically change on the skin? Have these colors been retouched in this arm swatch picture, or are they just all the same color, not necessarily pH activated? I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts, okay? Maybe I'm completely wrong again, and that's fine, but they look like the same color on every model of every complexion. So I'm like, where is the pH activating color playing in here? I might still get it. I'm not gonna lie. The color Rosewood, it looks like my type of shade. It's so basic though. So this is $44 and I'm like, I could probably pull out 5 different shades of cream blushes in my collection that look exactly like Rosewood. This is gonna be another case of I'm gonna go into the store, I'm gonna swatch them. I wanna see how they look. I have a lot of blushes in my collection that need using, so I can't justify buying another one for that much unless you guys really want to know my thoughts on it, if you're really interested in that. But for me, when I was looking at the swatches and looking at the finish, you know what it reminds me of? The Haus Labs Glossy Balms. They look so super dewy and hydrating on the skin, and that's exactly what these give me. So we're going to be using this, but I'm going to use it later because like I mentioned in my last video, these for me, I like to use on top of powder because if I use it under powder, I get really oily. So to counteract that, putting it on top of powder actually works really well and I get more longevity out of it. All right, a couple more blushes I want to talk about while we powder the face. So the benetint shades. I want these. Actually, specifically, I want the dark cherry. I feel like the dark cherry is going to be that type of tint shade that I'm going to love. I've been loving a black cherry tone and I want something that's a little bit brownish red. And this one, from what I can tell from the swatches and the videos that I've seen, this one looks like it's gonna be that. Ooh, I'm so tempted. But you guys know that I just picked up the blush tints from e.l.f. and these are really nice. I like the shade Cherry Cola. This one specifically has been the one that I've been gravitating towards. But I feel like dark cherry is going to be slightly darker and slightly more brown than Cherry Cola reads on me. I do plan on going into stores and looking at this one, swatching it. Do you need the formula? If you're looking for a formula, do you need it because it's different? No, not at all. Any water tint, anything that is a thin, watery stain texture is gonna be the same thing, you guys. And sometimes I even find that the Benetint, when you put it on the cheeks and when you put it on the lips, either one, it can be a little patchy if you're not careful. I think with the e.l.f. blush tints, when I put this on my cheeks, they went on really easily and they did not get patchy. And also when I put it on my lips, it didn't like cling on to dry patches. And I really like the doe foot on this. This is just such a good product. It's just specifically that dark cherry shade that I want to look at. I'm trying really hard to talk myself out of it. Okay, skin, we're looking pretty airbrushed and flawless today. Okay, lastly for blushes, I want to talk about the House of Her Moist Ampoule blushers. So I can't remember if I had this specific brand. I don't think I did, but I did have like one of those Moist Ampoule blushers in that same kind of like nail polish type of packaging. It didn't hit at the time, okay? I got that a while ago. I decluttered it a while ago. I wish I hadn't because now I'm very curious about these formulas. So this is essentially a pigment suspended in skincare. So it's going to be very lightweight, almost serum-y, but ampoules I think are a little bit more watery than a serum, like a gel serum based type of product. And I think what I didn't understand back then, and what some people may not understand as well, is that Asian beauty trends when it comes to blushes are very different from American Western beauty trends. We tend to go for things that are a bit more pigmented, things that we can build up, and we like that. But when it comes to Asian beauty trends, at least for a majority of the products, I'm not saying every product, it's more toned down. It's less saturated. It's less pigmented in as a whole. And I think that's why I decluttered the one that I had similar to this one in the first place, because my expectation was like Huda Beauty liquid blush filter type of thing, but that's not what you're going to get with this. I am looking at this and I feel like it would kind of act like a stain, like where it would give you that really diffuse, very soft type of blush. So before sitting down to film this video, I went on Amazon and I did purchase 2 of them, and I purchased them in darker shades. And honestly, what sold me were these marketing photos. I am going into it thinking that these are not going to be as pigmented on me as they are on the models, but what really sold me is this chart. It shows pigmentation level to the cool and warmth of each one. And I was very curious about this. I picked more pigmented ones. I went for the new red shade and then the coral shade because I feel like these are going to be something that would actually work on my skin tone, even if it is more of that sheer pigmentation. And I'm really curious actually to see if it's actually more pigmented or if it's just because they're darker shades. So I wanted to check that out. I'm really hoping this works for me though. There's something about this packaging and the marketing, really the marketing of a lot of Asian beauty products, that just draw me in. Okay, just powdered my face, finished my eyes, and like I said, I want to use the Haus Labs Glossy Balm. This is in the shade Glossy Cayenne, and I'm just gonna top my powder because I find that this is how I like to wear these. They're nice and pigmented this way, and they last a lot longer when they're on top of powder because you kind of have like that buffer between your foundation and oils and this product. Okay, let's talk about some bronzers. So Makeup by Mario just announced that they're coming out with their SoftSculpt bronzers, and the first question that I had, and a lot of people had, was, don't they already have this product? Doesn't this already exist? The answer here, you guys, is yes, it already exists, but they're coming out with a talc-free version. It seems like people are not happy about that. People are not happy that we're not getting talc. And honestly, I was not aware of the whole talc situation. Actually, I knew what was going on with talc, but I was not aware how much we as like makeup wearers rely on talc, especially those of us that are very oily and people that have like texture. So talc really helps with blurring. It helps with, let me actually look this up because I don't want to get this wrong. So it absorbs moisture, really great for us oily skin people, prevents caking, and creates a smooth, silky texture. So it essentially is what blurs the skin when you bake your face with powder. It's what sets the skin down. It's what keeps your oils at bay. So it makes sense that you would need a bronzer to like look blurring and smooth. They're saying that this new formulation is blurring, is smoothing, but I don't know. Why are they going for talc-free? Is it a requirement? I feel like it's not a requirement that brands go talc-free, but I feel like it's one of those makeup trends that brands feel pressured to do because they don't want to lose their customers. I think the same thing happened with clean beauty. A lot of people were like, I'm only doing clean beauty. So a lot of brands were forced to become more clean alternative. I have some mixed feelings about the whole clean beauty thing. I think it is rooted in fear mongering. That's just me personally. That's not to say that there aren't a lot of good clean beauty brands and beauty products, but I don't think that it's necessarily doing the thing that they're claiming every time. I do have the old version of the Makeup by Mario bronzer. This is in the shade medium dark, and to be honest, I'm not quite interested in this new talc-free version because I don't know how I feel about the Makeup by Mario one. I go back and forth and back and forth. Honestly, I think I needed a lighter shade, but now it's too late for that, so I'm kind of stuck with this medium dark shade. I think that this one is a bit too warm on me, and I think it also kind of like cakes, or not cakes, it patches on my skin. And I don't fully blame this product because I do have weird patches right here. I talk about it all the time, but I have weird patchy areas where bronzer usually goes. So bronzer, that's like not doing anything. Bronzer doesn't always sit well on my skin. So I'm very, very hesitant about this one. I probably won't pick it up, to be completely honest with you guys. I have been loving the LYS powder bronzer. That one sits on my skin so well. It is the perfect color. I'm not using it today because I've been using it way too much in videos and talking about it way too much, so I don't want to be too repetitive. And plus it makes sense that I use this one in this video. Okay, you guys see right here what I'm talking about? That patching right there? Oh, it bothers me to no end. That's what I'm saying. This one, I can't always get it to work. Sometimes it looks beautiful, and other times it just looks cakey and patchy and not good. This is an easy pass for me. If you're looking into this bronzer, I would very much recommend that you look into the LYS bronzer first if you have similar issues like I do, because that one has been doing it for me. It's so, so good. And also, this is kind of just like an FYI that is the difference with the new SoftSculpt bronzers. All right, and last I want to talk about the fact that Hourglass is allowing you to create your own custom quad palettes when it comes to powders. This is super exciting actually to me, and as soon as I saw this, I was like, this is such a good idea. You can do a mix of blushes, bronzers, highlights, and finishing powders, which I think is so smart. So they come out with these holiday palettes. These are my two most used favorite ones, the elephant palette and the snake palette. I think that they are so good, but I will be honest with you guys, there are some shades like this one, like this shade, I don't touch them, and they just kind of go to waste being in my possession, you know what I mean? Same with this, like I don't really touch that shade, I don't really touch this shade, but if you don't want to be wasteful, if you want to make sure you can actually use every shade in your palette, this is so smart. You can make your own palette with like your highlight, your blushes, your bronzers, and your finishing powder. Personally for me, I would possibly skip the highlighter and then just add an extra blush or finishing powder, because the finishing powders are where it's at. These finishing powders are so, so beautiful, and that's what we're going to use them for today. I'm going to just mix these two. I think these are dim light and soft light. Yeah, so dim light and soft light, and I'm just going to swirl my brush in. The problem with this though is because it's a 6-pan palette, this is kind of hard to just focus your brush in, especially if you're going in with a big fluffy brush to finish it off. So maybe these quads are gonna be better, maybe they'll be larger. I'm not sure though if they are. I think this is such a good idea. I think that more brands need to come out with this like customizable palette, especially if it's going to be so expensive, first of all. I would definitely be interested in this, especially if I didn't already have a couple of the palettes, you know. But if you don't, if you've been holding off because you haven't thought that you would use all the colors, maybe this would be the time. I would highly recommend though going into the store and swatching all the different shades that you might be interested in instead of like going in blind, because I believe that once you make your palette, you can't return it. It's non-returnable. So definitely make sure, like double, triple check to make sure the shades work for you. They're ones that you really like. Go into Sephora, go into Nordstrom, wherever Hourglass is available, and make sure that you like it, because that would be a shame if you spent upwards of $80 on something and you didn't even like the colors, you know? Look how it like melted in the blush and bronzer and kind of made everything look like one. So good. Oh, another thing is Hourglass always has end of year sales. So if you can hold off until the end of the year, like Black Friday around the holidays, I would highly recommend you do that. I do think that they have sales throughout the year though, just not as often. So definitely just wait for a sale in general if you can. Alright you guys, this is our finished look. This is what we came out with, and I just used the same lip oils from Bare Minerals in the shade Charm this time, and I used my Bare Minerals, this is discontinued, my Freestyle lip liner, but I think the shade Oak from MAC is very similar to this. This eyeshadow palette, gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Congratulations to Angie for another amazing launch. Some standouts for you guys. This IT Cosmetics Serum Concealer, I'm very excited to continue using this and see what I think about it. Sunscreen, I'm also very excited to see how this continues to layer with other complexion products. And yeah, I mean, everything turned out really nice. Overall, what do you guys think? Did we curb the makeup cravings in this video? Honestly, I went into it not wanting a ton of the new releases, so I think I kind of saved myself there. I'm only struggling with like one or two things that I need to go into the store and swatch for research purposes, also from my pure curiosity as well. And let me know if you guys want to see me talk about any of these new products. Like if you really are dying to see a review from me specifically, let me know in the comments down below. I would be happy to look into that for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I always love doing these Curbing Makeup Cravings videos because I feel like it helps keep me accountable. It helps me talk things out to see if it's actually something that I really want. And it also allows you guys to have a platform to be able to tell me, okay, yeah, I want this, or okay, no, I don't want this. And these are my reasonings for either side. It just helps put things into perspective, and it allows me to know what you guys are thinking about new makeup as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it, comment, and share it if you want to, but mainly subscribe so you don't miss my videos. Until next time, you guys, I will leave our Curbing Makeup Cravings playlist right here if you want to see what I've thought about brand new releases in the past. And until our next video, take care, you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.